We're Kayde and Katrina, and we're finally back in our home state of Wyoming. With some snow set to roll in soon, we're attempting to speedrun through Grand Teton and Yellowstone National Parks in order to experience as much as we can in the few days that we have here.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Do you have an ID with us?
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Cool, thanks.
We're in.
We're in. Clyde hates strangers.
Okay, so we stopped at the parking lot at Jenny Lake and we're like, okay, we're gonna make lunch, we're gonna pack it up.
It was my idea, right?
It was Kay's idea. He was like, we're gonna make lunch, we're gonna pack it up, and then we're gonna go have a picnic over by Jenny Lake. And we're literally making lunch, and all of a sudden I just see Kayde start eating his sandwich.
I forgot.
I'm like, so no picnic? Isn't that funny? It was literally his idea, and then he started eating.
I'll save the rest of it.
I made my sandwich too big and messy, so we're gonna eat here.
Look at this thing.
It's a tiny little bread. How am I supposed to fit it all?
So we're eating here after all, but I already packed mine up. Oh.
Look at how clear the water is. It's incredible.
We only have a few days until some bad weather is gonna roll in. So, with those days, we're gonna explore the Tetons and Yellowstone. Basically, with only having a few days, we're just gonna see as much as we can, as quickly as possible, and get an idea for what we wanna do when we come back. Also, it's kind of crazy because I have lived in Wyoming, I think the past like 6 years, and I've never been to either of these places. And everyone always talks about them when they talk about Wyoming when you say you're from here, so that'll be pretty cool to actually see them finally. So right now we're gonna go on this like scenic loop drive in the Tetons and see as much as we can see. We have to get rid of our trash out of our trasharoo. Since we're in bear country now, we can't be having trash in it, so.
Should we put the glass milk jar?
Yeah.
Recycle? Okay.
Yeah, we got this glass milk jar in Idaho and we're in Wyoming right now, so we can't return it. So the recycle it goes. But we did pay the deposit, so. Knowing we couldn't return it. Oh man.
Whoa.
So this is a dam apparently. It's like insanely low. Like there should be water all up.
Look at all that dirt. This is weird. I don't even like it.
Instead, there's a tiny bit of water back there. Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, I don't like that lake.
Well, not in its current state.
Yeah. So like 5 or 6 years ago, or some amount of years, I can't quite remember how long ago, I went on a trip with my family to Yellowstone, and then we drove through here and then to Jackson. We did rafting. It was a really cool trip. And on the way from Yellowstone to Jackson, we drove by the Tetons, which you kind of have to on this highway. And I remember stopping at, I'm pretty sure it was this exact pull-off, and I took this picture that we're gonna put on the screen. And it's kind of cool because that was when I had just started doing photography, so that's like my first camera, and that was one of the first like good pictures, at least back then at that time, one of the first like good pictures that I ever got. And it's kind of cool to be back here on accident in the same spot. I remember like we parked here, and then I remember like there being a fence, and I walked up to it, so the fence wasn't in the picture. And yeah, it's just kind of cool to see this place again.
Yeah, actually that picture is one of my favorites that Kayde has taken, and it's blown up really big and it's hanging in my room. I love looking at it all winter long. The colors and stuff, they just bring me so much happiness during the winter. So it's cool getting to see where this spot was.
I've always seen pictures of this barn, and I knew it was kind of like a famous historic thing, didn't know anything about it. And I also didn't realize that it was like a whole community. Like there's a ton of old buildings, which is what we're walking up to right now. And I think we might come back tomorrow morning for sunrise here, see if we can get some good pictures.
Yeah, definitely. Now it's time to go find a camp spot, hopefully down this place called Shadow Mountain. Hope we get lucky. Let's go.
We made it to our campsite for the night. Nice little 3-spotter. A little bit of a gnarly road getting in here, but it's cool. I always have fun driving on bad roads, so it was fun for me. So it is just turning 4 o'clock, ooh, right there. And our plan is to just get the van set up and relax for a little bit and do some research on what we want to do in Yellowstone, because tomorrow we're gonna wake up for sunrise, go back to that cool barn, take some pictures, and then head up to Yellowstone for a couple days. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and then we have to leave by Friday because some bad weather's coming and we don't want to be here when it's snowing. So we're just hanging out here for the night, and I don't know, we'll come back if anything interesting happens, or tomorrow morning. Also, you can't see it from here, but the Teton Range is just behind this hill, which is really cool because there's a trail going up to the top, and I found a perfect spot for a star time lapse. If you've been watching our videos, you know that I'm kind of getting into that a little bit, time lapses, and I'm pretty excited about this one. So hopefully it turns out good.
yeah, that sunset was like the highlight of my whole day. I think that was really incredible to witness.
All right, so it's night now, and I got all set up. I was gonna head up that mountain that I showed you that we went up for the sunset to set up my star time lapse. And it's completely dark. The stars look awesome, and I have my headlamp on. I'm walking up the hill in the dark, and it's like super quiet here, which is really nice, but I was like really trying to like listen for everything. And we are camping in bear country right now, and I knew that, and I did have my bear spray with me, which is a very good thing. I'm walking up this hill and have my headlamp on, and then I get almost to the top of the hill, and at the top of the hill it's probably like, I don't know, like 15 yards or something, a good distance away. I just suddenly see like two like yellowish bright eyes looking at me at the top of the hill, looking down at me. And I stop, and I'm on this tiny like single trail, and it's like tall bushes everywhere, and it's dark, and all I got is my headlamp and a camera and my bear spray. And I just see these like two yellow eyes like kind of like look at me like that, and then I like stop, and then it just goes off to the side. When I first saw it, it felt like a big animal. Like I'm still not sure what it is, and after kind of like looking at some stuff, I guess it could have been a raccoon, but my first thought was like mountain lion, which now I don't think that's what it is, but at the time I was like, that's a mountain lion looking at me. I don't think that's what it was. I'm kind of thinking it was like a coyote or something. I don't really know. But anyway, I wasn't going to take my chances and try to like figure out what it was, because all I could see were the eyes, and it was like for like very quick amount, like less than a couple seconds, and then it was gone off to the side. And I was like, I hope it's not like trying to get a better angle on me or something. So I didn't want to mess around with it, so I'm just like walk back down the hill backwards in the dark with my bear spray out. Yeah, it was pretty scary. And since then, I've been sitting in here, and I'm not going outside again tonight.
No star time lapse.
No epic star time lapse. It was gonna be really cool, so I'm kind of bummed about that. But I ain't about to risk it.
Nope.
It's not worth it.
Safety first.
But it would have been really cool. You guys saw the sunset. So just picture that with like a bunch of stars moving. It would have been cool.
There's so many stars out tonight. It's beautiful.
I'm just not doing it.
But it's scary, and we're staying in the van for the rest of the night.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get a little bit of sleep tonight. But we will see you in the morning for our sunrise and then Yellowstone.
Good morning, guys. We just finished our sunrise at the barns, and if we got any pictures, we will put them here for you guys to check out. We got some good ones, and now we're headed to Yellowstone.
That's it. So that was Old Faithful. It's been quite a few years since I've seen it, but it was still as cool as I remember it. For your first time seeing it.
It's my first time.
And we actually pulled up at the perfect time. Like the whole crowd was there, and we're like, oh, it might go off. It actually goes off every like hour and a half-ish. So we just walked up, and it started like right when we got there. And now we get to spend some time walking around the basin and seeing some other geysers.
Yeah, so exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a buffalo right there. It's like walking the path of danger. Beauty, eh?
We just spent so much time in hot springs, and then we're here, and there's so much potential for hot springs, and we can't sit in any.
Way too hot.
Way too hot, but yeah, feels like, I don't know what it feels like.
Rip off.
Yeah, it feels like, dang it.
What do you think? Should we wait around for it? Any minute now.
Any minute. Guys, we just gotta stay a little bit longer. It's gonna happen. So Kayde's been to Yellowstone, and I never have been, but check out the coolest shirt that I have on today, my Yellowstone shirt. I actually got it from Kayde. When he was here, like, I don't know, quite a few years ago, he got it actually for himself, and then it was too small for him, so I got to repurpose it for myself, and it's like one of my favorite shirts now, and I was so excited to be able to wear it in Yellowstone finally.
What'd you think of the geysers?
It was so cool, I loved it.
Now on to the biggest geyser. I guess, what are they called? Hot springs, or is it technically a geyser?
I can't remember.
I think it's a spring.
A spring?
The biggest spring of them all.
I'm so excited. I want to see it so bad.
So what we're about to show you is our view that we just got of the Grand Prismatic Spring, which is something about like one of the biggest whatevers ever. Pretty cool. We know that there's an overlook that you can hike to, like on a mountain. And we kind of assumed that it would be here, like in the main parking lot, but it's not. And so we just got to walk like alongside it, which didn't really get that good of a view of it.
I mean, you got to see it up close, but
yeah,
you don't get to,
which
like,
was cool.
It's like all the steam and stuff, you can't actually see it.
Yeah, you can't quite see like how big it is. So possibly tomorrow morning we might come back, because it's not going to be that far, and do that short hike, maybe get a better view. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. We made it to our camp spot for tonight. Tonight is pretty unusual for us. We usually try to avoid stuff like this, but all of the campgrounds in Yellowstone are closed for the season. So you can't camp anywhere within the whole park, which is really inconvenient. So we drove just outside of the park, and there's this kind of like pull-off like truck parking place that online a lot of people have said they stayed here no problem. But it's kind of funny because we're parked like just outside our door. There's a no camping sign. It's just kind of funny, but so we're just gonna lay low in our van and eat supper, go to bed, get up in the morning, and head back into the park for our second and final day. All right, see you in the morning.
Good morning. We are literally like 5 seconds into the park and we've already had our first animal sighting. And it was so cool. This bull elk is literally just laying on an island in the middle of the river. Like this tiny little island. It's crazy. So yeah, can't wait to see what else we see.
So we didn't realize this, but as opposed to yesterday when we were there at Old Faithful at like the middle of the day into the afternoon, it was a lot warmer. And today we're here at a different geyser basin in the morning, and it's a lot colder, the air temperature, and it's a lot harder to like see the colors of the springs and the geysers. We think just because there's more steam because of the colder air. Which is kind of interesting, but it's still pretty neat.
It is. It's really cool to see.
Yeah.
It's really fun being here so close to Halloween because it feels like we're just looking at a whole bunch of witches' cauldrons.
Yeah.
And I think that's so cool. You guys, 5 seconds after I just told you that, the next one was called Black Hermit Cauldron. And there literally hasn't been one named Cauldron yet, so that's so cool. It's warm. Kayde and I went to every viewpoint around the canyon because we were so excited. I wanted to see like all parts of it. And we saved that one for last. And we honestly almost didn't go to it. And it ended up being our absolute favorite. It was incredible. So it's so cool to actually have that one last too as well. But anyways, incredible. And now we are headed to go see, hopefully, some animals. Fingers crossed. Everyone's pulled over on the side of the road looking at something, and so we pull over and we're like, oh my gosh, it has to be awesome because there's like big cameras out and people are freaking out. We're like, it's a grizzly bear. And it's like off in the woods, we think. We can't see it. No one, like, we don't know what everyone's looking at. And then finally we see it.
I had to get out
Kayde, yeah.
and go behind a photographer and look where his camera was pointing.
To see what he was
And I
pointing
finally
at.
saw it, and this is what it was. I'll give you a second to figure it out.
Not quite a grizzly, but we're gonna move on and see if we do see one somewhere. Good morning from the Walmart parking lot. So my experience of Yellowstone and the way that I would describe the park is just this overall sense of just so much peacefulness. It was just so peaceful and it wasn't chaotic. And it was awesome.
Yeah, and
I
that
just-
sunset drive, like along the lake, you could see the Tetons in the background.
Yeah, it was incredible. So
And we are here late October, so like there weren't very many people in the park, and so that might give you a little bit of a skewed perception.
yeah, I think it definitely is because I'm like, oh, it's so peaceful.
There's no one here.
There
we
was
have all
no
the
one
places
there.
to ourselves.
Yeah, so
No bears, no moose.
Nope.
But maybe next time when we come back.
yeah.
But I feel like this was like a perfect like taste test of these two parks that we can come back
It's exactly
next
what
year,
it was.
and we know what we want to explore.
Yeah, seen some stuff and we can explore more in depth the things that we want to go back to. So,
Yeah. So,
but we're really lucky we got out of there because Kayde read that this weekend those areas are supposed to get like 12 plus inches of snow, which
Yeah.
we knew weather was coming. So that's why we had to make it quick.
Right. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will catch you in the next one.
Bye, guys.